Oh, there you go. Hi.
There you go. What did I hit? I think I hit something down here, didn't I?
Yeah, I thought it was down here. What's up there, though? I don't know this software. I've never seen this.
This is the wrong thing anyways.
What was up here? You hit switch somewhere here, I thought. Okay, and now it was down here where you mute, right? There you go. Now you switch. Yep.
Great.
There you go. We can talk later.
Oh, well, I said, I knew I would hear you before I saw it.
Right? Exactly. You proved your point, right? Yeah.
Good morning, 2015 Pittsburgh Penguins Elite fans. Thanks for joining us for game number one of a two-game set here, the conclusion of the season series between the Pittsburgh Penguins Elite and the boys in red and black, wearing black today. That'll be the Cleveland Barons, who made the trip on the Ohio Turnpike east to western Pennsylvania. Penguins right now are 3-1-1 against this Cleveland Barons team, and we have two set for today. 11:40 coming up in a few minutes, and the conclusion, which will be at 2:30 this afternoon here from the UPMC Lemieux Sports Complex. Final seconds ticking down on the warm-up clock, 15 to go to be exact, as the boys in black and gold will be in white today with the gold helmets, black pants, white socks, as they look to continue 2026 on the winning side, as they've started off with two victories, two W's over the Niagara North Stars, who joined us on Friday afternoon and Friday evening for a two-game set. Competitive games against the Niagara North Stars, and they were able to take in the Pittsburgh Penguins game yesterday against the Calgary Flames. But action will continue here from Cranberry, Pennsylvania. Game number one of two coming up next. Pittsburgh Penguins Elite and the Cleveland Barons. Pens just had a pregame skate for some players that were injured. Brian Rust in the house right now, just walked by, surveying the scene. Rutger McGroarty also checking out the boys in black and gold. But thanks for joining us wherever you're from, if you couldn't make it to the UPMC Lemieux Sports Complex. Be it if you're watching in Pittsburgh or beyond. Thanks for always supporting the 2015 Pittsburgh Penguins Elite Nenevisa boys. Starting in net today will be number 33, Luca Thompson. He picked up the 4-1 win in game number 1 against Niagara on Friday. And starting up front for the Pens Elite at center will be number 8, Connor Wilson. He will be joined on the left side by Easton Borman. Right side, Bingham Green. Backside will be Brady Fritchie, the puck carrier right now. And number 14, Noah Welch. Brady Fritchie's going to enter the offensive zone as he slides it for Connor Wilson. Quick shot as the Pens get an early scoring opportunity there, as Welch is going to pinch down the wall. Throws it behind netminder number 1, Enox. As Connor Wilson bumps it up to the right-handed defenseman, number 9, Brady Fritchie. As he's going to go across to Welch now. Welch controls this puck. He's going to float it for the stick of Borman. Borman tries to deflect that. It goes behind the net to Wilson. Wilson, good puck movement back to Brady Fritchie. Fritchie tries to work that back along, but it kicks back out to the neutral zone where Fritchie's going to dump that deep. He's going to go for a change. Pens making wholesale changes. Brooks Gaworski gets on to forecheck, number 45, and now it comes to center red, and the Barons also want to make some changes to their personnel grouping. Good to see number 7, Nico Stark, back on the ice after a scary takedown in game number 2 on Friday evening. As Grant Loya, his defensive partner this game, is going to float this up to Riker Ferguson. It's in a couple of skates. Finding this puck now is number 4, Mason Fritchie. Fritchie sees this puck go back into the Penguin zone where it's controlled by Loya. Loya goes D-to-D to Stark. Stark centering pass to Riker Ferguson. He's got a man ahead of the play, working to get onside as Gaworski is able to get onside. It's now on Gaworski's tape. Deflected off of his stick blade. As it's on the side of the Barons net, it's loose, but the official lost sight of the puck. So we will have an offensive zone faceoff. 13:26 to go. 2 shots so far for the Pens Elite. Good start for the boys in the white sweaters today. Wilson on for the draw. He's on with Davis and Paris. Fritchie and Nenevisa join on the backside. Fritchie has at the top of the circle. He's going to circle back to gain some real estate. Protects on his backhand. He's curling around. He thinks about switching with Nenevisa and does. He now has it on the half wall. Goes to the point man, Blake Paris. Paris right back down low to Brady Fritchie. Fritchie shows his patience and goes cross ice to Nenevisa. Nenevisa snaps in a shot deflected off of Wilkos' stick. And this will become an outlet for the Barons. Back checking is Blake Paris, and he does get to that puck first. We'll send it back through neutral as Mazza goes D-to-D. He gets it right back. One-touch pass up to Wilkos, where Takovich tries to get the handle. 12:44 to go in the first period. Connor Wilson's going to break in. He's got some speed. He's able to briefly get around 58. Recovers with a stick on the puck as Welch is going to step up now. Moves it along to Borman. Thrown right back into the neutral zone where Wilkos is content to send it all the way down behind the Penguin net, where Guerra's going to get to that puck, but he's going to be confronted. But stepping to that will be Wilson. And there's going to be a penalty call coming up against the Barons. So the Pens are going to go to the power play. Drop pass will be intercepted by number 72, Riker Gailey. But there's a tripping call called as Wilson was coming back on the back check. Took a stick to the skate blade, and Reese is the guilty party. He's not appreciative of that call as he slams the penalty box door. And the Pens are on the power play here with 12:13 to go. Number 9 in the box for a minute 30. And Riker Ferguson on for the draw. Wins it back to Borman. Borman gives it to Ferguson. Now Welch controls on his backhand. He goes D-to-D to Starks. Stark shoots that in. Floating. Drops down off the right pad of the netminder. As Ferguson now controls. He has it. Borman goes to Stark. Stark, low shot. Will come out into the crease area as Gailey's going to try and send this all the way down the ice. And icing's going to be waved off. His back for this puck is number 7, Nico Stark. He puts it off the wall to Bingham Green. Green goes wide to Welch. Welch is going to skate this back into the offensive zone. He goes wide right back to Bingham Green. Good zone entry. Tries to go back. Nobody home, though, as the Pens are making a change. Grant Loy, one of those fresh bodies on the ice. 44 to go on the power play. 11:23 to go in the first period. As Grant Loy now controls behind the net. Tries a power move in to poke it in on the short side. It's still loose. Whistle blows as the Pens were looking to cash in on the rebound. As Borman is saying what's up with that. As he has his hands in the air, he was planted on his backside as he was looking to tuck one home on a rebound opportunity. 33 to go on the power play, 11:16 to go in the first period. Fritchie on for the draw. Joined by Gaworski and Wilson, backside Loy and Nenevisa. Won by the Barons behind their own net as they retreat to 58. Will try to go up the wall. That's intercepted by Mason Fritchie. Stops high in the zone. Curls back down to the half wall. He's harassed by Wilkos. Moves it to Gaworski. Centering pass off the left pad of the netminder, who sticks it away. Comes down to the point. That's Grant Loy. Snaps in a hard shot. Rebound. Pokes out, but nobody home to tuck it in. As behind the net now, it's 45 Gaworski. 6 seconds to go on the power play. He's got a man coming out of the box. Penn's aware of that. Loy will retreat back to his own zone now. Goes off the right skate of 87 Guerra. Offsides, though, as Wilkos brought it in. And 87 did not get out of the zone in time, so neutral zone face-off. 10:37 to go in the first period. Wilson on for the draw with Gaworski and Fritchie. Backside now will be his brother Brady Fritchie and number 14, Noah Welch. Wilson goes forward with the draw, pokes over to Brady Fritchie. He's going to skate this through as he's being harassed by Tanner Scott. Able to gain the zone, and Fritchie still being pinned to the wall. His brother Mason's covering the point now. On the half wall, digging for this are a couple of Penguins. And the Barons trying to get it out. Throwing it, but it goes over the stick blade of Mason Fritchie. Foot race there as Welch and Fritchie coalesce to move this up to number 45, Brooks Gaworski. Gaworski stops it with the spin moves, leaves it for Wilson. Wilson tries a curl move. Had a man sneak in back doors. Welch instead pokes it around to the front of the net. As it's going to be dumped back to center red, where it's controlled by number 43, Grant Loya. Loya sees his pass get picked off as it's thrown deep. And controlled by number 43, Grant Loya. Sent wide to number 25, that's Blake Paris, unable to handle that puck. And it comes back into the Penguin zone. Foot race here between Wilkos and Stark. Wilkos gets theirs first. Stark crashes hard into the wall. Wilkos walks off the wall. He's got a man in front at 6. Shot deflects off the body of Blake Paris. Shot does not get through as it's sticked away now to the half wall. Pens out of sorts a little bit in their own zone as a rebound was shuffled away by Luka Thompson. Now it's Wilkos controlling below the goal line. He's forced to the wall by Loya. Bodies him off as pinching down the wall 66. Davis sees this puck go all the way through to the left pad of Luka Thompson. Kind of snuck through there on a changeup on the ice surface, but it's Blake Paris trying to reverse course here as the Barons with a little pushback at the midpoint of the first period. And they collect 2 shots of their own. Score remains 0-0. Borman freshly off the bench. Sees Wilson and Fritchie come together to get to this puck. Fritchie to Nenevisa. Nenevisa off the wall to Borman, just out of his reach, and will be an icing call. So we'll travel all the way back down to the left side of netminder 33, Luka Thompson. Wilson will draw in against Gailey, joined by Borman, Green, Nenevisa, and Fritchie. Wilson will win that draw back to Fritchie. Fritchie pokes it along to Borman, but he's run into by Bugaj. A couple of bodies collide, Wilson and Borman. That happened in the Niagara game as well. Both of these guys are able to get back to their feet as Cleveland goes D to D. Jumping into that pass was Bingham Green, though. Right in front of the penalty box doors. Bingham Green gets control momentarily. Bumped off the puck, gets it right back as Gailey lifts his stick. Gailey moves it to Guerra. Dump deep. And the Barons going to go to work. That's their game. Very similar game to the Niagara team if you tuned into those matchups in terms of how they operate. Dump it in and go to work as Nenevisa will confront Reese on the wall. Reese loses the handle to Bingham Green. Borman, he's got a step around 27. Tries to protect on his backhand. And both bodies will go down as the pens are changing and reinforcements are coming. Fanning clear on the clearing attempt are the Barons, where it comes 3-9. Welch serves him. And as it comes over to number 7, Nico Stark. Stark to Borman. Off the stick of Ferguson. Hustling to get to this puck is the right winger. That's 45 Brooks Gaworski. 7:17 to go in the first period. 4-2 on the shot totals here on the UPMC Lemieux Sports Complex scoreboard. That's 27. He's going to try and filter this up. Welch dumps it in deep, protects it in the zone, throws it in. It's on the back of the cage now. Hustling to that is Mason Fritchie. It's on the half wall where Scott forced to the wall by the forearm of Brooksy Gaworski. Connor Wilson has it on the half wall, loses one thing. It's the puck. And back into the Penguin zone comes number 43, the right-handed defenseman, Grant Loya. Barons making a change. Wilson wants that puck. It's a quick up to him, deflects into the offensive zone. Controlled by Wilson at the top of the circle. Centering pass does not get through. Where Wilkos has it on the half wall now. Swings it wide to Takovitz. Will try Nenevisa. Tries to bring it to the center. And no further as Connor Wilson easily picks off that offensive opportunity from Takovitz. Goes to number 4, Mason Fritchie. Dumped in deep, controlled by Mazza. Mazza to 6. Wilkos in flight. Is confronted by Grant Loya. Strips that man of the puck. But they get that puck right back as number 6 is angled to the wall by Riker Ferguson. They both go down. As Sadler and Ferguson tangle up in the offensive zone of the Barons. But it's Reese. Goes off the face of Fritchie. Maybe an opportunity here for number 9. Centering pass just a little bit beyond the reach of 25 Blake Paris, and it'll be dumped back into the Penguin zone. Should be an icing call. And it is an icing call with 5:31 to go in the first period. Offensive zone opportunity coming up off the offensive faceoff that will be taken by number 8, Connor Wilson. He's on with Borman and Green again. Fritchie and Welch on the backside. Wilson wins the draw to Bingham Green, knocked off of his stick blade, so Welch is going to retreat back into his own zone. He's got one coming, and that's number 9. Welch is going to go behind the net. He's going to skate this through, up to Bingham Green. Green, one-touch pass to Wilson, and the transition's on. A 2-on-1 develops here. He's got a man going with him. It's Easton Borman. Borman has on his back end. Power move to the net. Unable to get the shot off, though, as he was pressured on the backside. Bingham Green tries to go through a couple of bodies, and number 9's going to try Welch. 9 dumps it off the side of the glass there. Interesting carom as Loya is going to reverse this now out the other side of Welch. And Welch is going to skate this back to center. Feeds it for Wilson, deflects back into the pen zone. And Welch is going to go back for it one more time. Bumps it along to Easton Borman. And now Gailey and Welch collide. Comes back to the point man, 27, shot off of the stick of Perino. And over to the half wall. Pens have a couple of tired bodies that have been on this shift for a while here. Loya's not one of them, but Loya's trying to clear this puck right now. Comes below the goal line where Tanner Scott and Loya, they collide. Comes now free to Wilson. Wilson's just going to dump, take the icing call to get a change. It is far enough for an icing call, so we'll do things now to the right side of netminder 33, Luca Thompson. Ferguson on for the draw with Gaworski and Fritchie. Backside will be Brady Fritchie and CJ Nenevisa. The man between the pipes. Starting in mind if you're joining us late is number 33, Luca Thompson. Shot in on Thompson off his glove. He's able to find that rebound as Takovitz was looking for it. Forced out of the blue paint by Fritchie and Nenevisa. Thompson had to be alert. 4:01. We'll do things all over again on the right side of netminder 33, Luca Thompson. Ferguson in for the draw against 55 once again. It's in a couple of skates. Digging for this puck is Riker Ferguson. Will skate it out of danger. He'll go wide on 58. Tries a curl move. Knocked off of his stick plate. Still sitting in the zone temporarily. CJ Nenavicep has to pick it up and retreat back to neutral. Nenavicep on his backhand goes to Brady Fritchie. 3:43 to play. In the first period here from the UPMC Lemieux Sports Complex, Mason Fritchie tied up there by Bugaj. But recovering that puck is Fergie. 93 Riker Ferguson. Now goes behind the Cleveland cage. Ferguson gets on that puck again. Sadler for the Barons. Tries to move at the Takovits and does. Confronted by Loya. Dumped deep into the Penguin zone. Retreating for it is number 9, Brady Fritchie. Fritchie delays around Wilco, shows some patience again, tries to split through everybody. Barons, though, collapse in the neutral zone. And it comes to his brother Mason Fritchie, still poking. It pinballs now to the half wall, where Mason Fritchie digs for that puck. Centering pass comes all the way through to Connor Wilson. Connor Wilson one-times it. On the ice, may have been a couple of inches off the ice, but Mason Fritchie powers 27 right off of that puck. Wins that battle, says thank you very much, and gets the assist to number 8, Connor Wilson. And it's a 1-0 lead for the Pittsburgh Penguins Elites here against the Cleveland Barons. That's Wilson from Fritchie at 2:50 of the first period. Penn scoring their 5th shot of the game. As being hooked in the neutral zone is Colt Davis. He hits the deck, tries to push it along further, where Mazza controls behind the cage. Penn's benefit from a defensive breakdown by the Barons, as Mason Fritchie was able to orchestrate a great pass. Now Connor Wilson looking for another one. Right off the hop, backhands it up over the bar. Behind netminder number 1, Enox. Barons will come in 2-on-3. Knocked behind, where Wilson will throw it out of the Penguin zone. Mazza tries to bring it in the offensive zone. Picked right off by 43, Grant Loya. Blake Paris, he's coming in now. He takes a stick from Mazza and confronted by 27, Lapanga. Comes now high in the zone to 43, Grant Loya. Loya goes D to D. He's got Nico Stark. Nico Stark's got a lane, shoots it, deflects down. May have hit the stick of Riker Ferguson. 1:51 now to play in the period. Borman, he hops on with a couple of fresh bodies. Getting this puck, Easton Borman knocked on his butt by Mazza. Now to the half wall. Pinching down is Loya. Keeping it in, though, the man covering the point, 19, Bingham Green. 15, Mazza tries to get it to Scott. Should be an icing call, and it is, as the Barons content to get the heat out of the kitchen. Offensive zone face-off to the right of netminder number 1 will be taken by Riker Ferguson. He's Borman and Green join him with Fritchie and Welch on the backside. It comes to Welch. Welch goes D to D. Puck movement over to Fritchie, deflects off the stick plate of Borman. Green cycles in it now below the net. Hopping to that is 66. And it comes free high in the slot. Controlled by Fritchie. Quick movement over to Borman. Borman sneaks it down low. A quick shot off of the stick of Bingham Green. Is thrown now to the near corner, where 6 sees us go to Brady Fritchie. Fritchie to Borman. He's got a man trying to float it to Ferguson. Doesn't get through, though. Comes up now on the half wall to Borman. Once again, he sticks it further along. Penn's going to change a couple of troops. Unable to hold the zone are the Barons, as Connor Wilson is coming off the bench to get to this puck. And the Barons control, top of the zone, 66. He's going across to 58, shot into the glove of 33, Luca Thompson. No rebound, 21.1 to go on the clock for the Barons' 4th shot of the game. As the faceoff gets set up on the left side of 33, Luka Thompson. Wilkos for the Barons will take it as he draws again against number 8, Connor Wilson, the goal scorer. Wilkos wins that draw, goes back to Lapanga. Lapanga into space. Hustling for that puck is Grant Loya. Loya skates it out of danger. As it goes off the stick blade of 86, Thiessen. Winning this puck battle is Mason Fritchie. Walks in. Mason Fritchie shoots this on the ice as it's kicked out by Enox with 1 to go, and that'll be it for the first period. After 1 here from the UPMC Lemieux Sports Complex, your Pittsburgh Penguins lead 1 and the Cleveland Barons 0. We'll be back in a moment. 15 minutes on the second period clock here from the UPMC Lemieux Sports Complex in Cranberry, Pennsylvania. Thanks for joining us for Pens Elite action between the Pens Elite and the Cleveland Barons. But wait, there's more. These same two teams will be back in action later this afternoon at 2:30 on the same ice rink and the same ice sheet on the FedEx side. Play back underway as Lapanga attempts to gain the zone. And Nenevisa gets that puck first, diving attempt to move it over to his defensive partner. But Sadler is able to get to that puck first. And now a puck battle ensues. Walking off the wall is Sadler. Goes high to Lapanga, tries to slap her. Fielding that is number 33, Luka Thompson, for his 5th save of the game. 8-5 the shots. 1-0 the score, 14:34 to go. Ferguson on for the draw. He's joined by number 25, Blake Paris, and number 11, Colt Davis, as they get set up here on the left side of Thompson. Now comes to the left-handed defenseman. Sometimes forward, Nico Stark, who moves it up to Paris. It's in the skates of Stark's able to recover, but gaining the offensive zone for the Barons is Tanner Scott as he falls. Blake Paris high in the zone, battles with Perino, 34. But forcing it back to center is number 93, Riker Ferguson, as we're under 14 to play in the second period. Mazza controls, throws it right to Riker Ferguson. Ferguson tries a centering pass, but it's picked up by 58. It's going to be thrown high off the glass where Welch knocks that down in midair. Good stop by 14, but as he pickle stabs it up to Davis. Scott now skates this back to center, back checked by Wilson, dumped deep into the Penguin zone as Wilson will go back and collect it. He winds things up. Goes with a long pass for the man coming off the bench, Easton Borman. He's bumped into by 66. Pens change the truth behind the play as Thiessen, he's confronted by Bingham Green. And Connor Wilson, Wilkos walks off the walls, moves it to Guerra. Guerra to Reese, who will try 77 Nenevisa. Bumps it out wide, stops up on the half wall, goes back to the point man, Wyang 66, D to Thiessen. Thiessen confronted by Green, turns it over to Connor Wilson, 3-on-2, develops as Brady Fritchie's going to join the rush. Wilson's got Fritchie going to the net, deflects off the skate of 66. Good idea from 8 as he tried to feed number 9, Brady Fritchie, now in front. Bingham Green, backhand attempt comes right back to the stick of the Cleveland Barons. And Reese is confronted on the back check by his opposing number 9, Brady Fritchie. Wins that battle. As Wilkos and Borman. Wilkos clenches down on Borman's stick, trying to buy a call there. As headman pass goes off the blade of 27 and in on the forecheck. Riker Ferguson goes off the dasher to the skates of Mason Fritchie, and it's poked along Grant Loya. Hustling back to recover is Riker Ferguson. Newton puts it off the dasher and into the Pens D zone behind netminder 33 Luka Thompson. It's played across from Stark to Loya. Loya feeds it, but under the stick of Fergie, who's going to go to the bench for the change. Quick up here, up to Sadler. Grant Loya confronts him though, and back into the Pens offensive zone. 58 goes across to 27. Lapanga right back to Bugaj. It's on his backside. He has to turn around to play that puck. Sadler methodically moves it up to 53. Gets around Stark, but not around Wilson. Strips him of the puck. Floats it up. It's in the skates of Gaworski, though. Loses it to 34. Shot off the glove of Thompson. And the Pens are going to try to transition this to offense. Taking a slash was Mason Fritchie. Forced to the wall by Lapanga. To the stick blade of Brady Fritchie. Fritchie dumps it now deep below the goal line. Bugaj bumps it along to Lapanga. And it goes off the body of Paris. Back to center red. Collecting it is Colt Davis. Brady Fritchie. He's going to lead the rush. He's coming in 1-on-4. Takes a slash to the hands. Centering pass goes off the stick of Newton. It's in the crease now. Welch is going to hustle over to this puck. He's curling around, looking for an avenue. Goes to Colt Davis, has it at the point. Colt Davis shoots it a couple feet over the net. Bugaj bumps it along. Welch pins it down. It's thrown behind him. And Brady Fritchie goes back for this puck. Icing waved off. Doesn't have the juice to get all the way to the goal line. And the Pens right back on the try to transition this, but goes off a couple of sticks. It's in the equipment of Ferguson. He's able to get it back to center. He's planted by Lapanga. But back into the Penguin zone. And behind the cage, Brady Fritchie on his backhand up to Blake Paris. Long shift here for these 5 skaters on the ice. Fergie in flight. He's got a step on Maz. He's going to make it on the net. It's Davis. Tries to go to him. Thiessen picks it off at the last second, puts it into space. Over to get to this puck is Blake Paris. As Gailey interferes with him on the wall. Mazza comes up the half wall, pushing it further to Sadler. Holding this in is Grant Loya. Protects. Moves it to Easton Borman. Curls around Scott. Shot. It's into the equipment of Thiessen. Borman gets right back to his feet. Goes to Wilson. Wilson on the half wall. Confronted by Thiessen. Scott lightly sends it up to Nenvaisa. Comes a point down low to Borman. Borman. He feeds it all the way through to Loya. Comes now to the dot to Connor Wilson. Misses the net. Over to Grant Loya. Has it on the half wall. Reverses with Borman. Borman keeps it in the zone. He goes D to D to Nenavaisa. Good puck movement here. Nenavaisa, one-touch pass to Wilson. Wilson goes right back to Nenavaisa. Nenavaisa recovers off the dasher board. Controlled by Mazza. Wilson trying to keep that shift going here as Nenavaisa keeps it in the offensive zone and does as Bingham Green moves it to Borman. Pens with about a minute of zone time here on this shift. Loya snaps it in, deflects off the outside of the post. Hit the stick blade of Wilson. Now it goes off the backside of Borman. Wilson has it. Shot in, blockered away. Enoch sticks it to the near corner. As Gailey is going to ice the puck. It goes off the left pad of Luka Thompson, so no icing. As it'll be quicked up, but hopping to that. Goes off the stick of 66. So Borman, long shift for him. Pens and Barron's able to get some changes. Comes free to Nico Stark. He gets around 9. Stark goes to Wilkos, or Guerra. He gets control of this puck. Try to dump it in deep. Going back for it is number 14, Noah Welch. It's centered to 87, shot wide of the net. Nico Stark has it. He'll go D to D, but it's behind Welch. He'll have to turn and go back to collect. Throws it behind the cage. Over to 7, Nico Stark. Stark tries to take away the stick of 66, thrown in deep. Welch now will retreat behind Luka Thompson. He's going to skate it, puts it off the wall. Back into space where Mason Fritchie puts it back into neutral, dumped back in deep by the Cleveland Barons. Nico Stark behind the cage goes to Welch. Welch to Gaworski. Gaworski, one touch pass into space. Mason Fritchie tries to get to that puck. Sadler gets to it first. It's now in the skates of Mason Fritchie. Wang creates a turnover here as Nico Stark was hooked up, and an elbowing call will be assessed. To number 9 as he got the elbow up on Nico Stark. So the Pens are going to go to the power play with 6:52 to go. Pens have had zone time all season long against the Cleveland Barons. And that trend continues once again this afternoon. 9 shots to 6. Wilson taking the draw on the power play, joined by Davis and 25 Blake Parrish. Fritchie and Nenevisa also on the power play. 58. He's going to send it all the way down the ice. Should be an icing call, and it is. As the whistle blows, 1:19 to go on the PP opportunity. 6:40 to play in the second period. We'll do things just on the other side of netminder number 1, Enox. 55 steps in across from Connor Wilson. It's in the skates of Wilson. He digs it out, goes to Brady Fritchie. Controls at the point. Fritchie stops up, goes low to the half wall to Wilson. Wilson tries to go all the way across to Nenevisa, who is sneaking in the back door. Perino gets to that puck and deflects it back to center red. Now Davis to Fritchie. Fritchie sees that pass going to the Pens offensive zone. Lapanga to Perino. Perino does not hit center red. Icing's the call. With 6:15 to go, 54 seconds. Pens looking for their first shot of this power play. Unable to get set up. And they're going to change up the troops. Riker Ferguson, Bingham Green, Easton Borman. Come on, same defensive personnel, Nenevisa and Fritchie. Ferguson giving some instructions to 77, Nenevisa, as he draws in against Wilkos. Wilkos wins the draw back to the corner. Lapanga behind the net, hopping to that Bingham Green. As it deflects off of the skate of 87 and wide of the net, almost deflected in. Pens have 3 or 4 shot opportunities that have been within inches of making this a 2-0 game. But the score remains 1-0, 35 to go on the power play. Lapanga back to neutral, controlled by Nenevisa. On his forehand goes to Borman. Borman curls up, brings it in, gets a clean zone entry, tries to hit Ferguson, picked off by Thiessen, and it's airmailed back to center. 19 to go on the power play. Green forces it along to number 9, Brady Fritchie. That's eaten by Thiessen, as there's interference behind the play as Gira blatantly interfered with Ferguson, who's tied up. Clear interference call. It may have hurt Fergie, as 87 should be going to the box. The Pens are going to have a 5-on-3 opportunity. As Fergie was not playing the puck, 87 just trucked him, ran him over. Got tangled up with him. Looking back on the replay. Let's see, to be clear. Nonetheless, taking a look right now at the replay. Let's see if we can see it. It's behind the play, so. But nonetheless, it's one back to Nico Stark. Stark will shoot that in. It goes off up high of the Barons, so back to a 5-on-4 situation. As this is going to be an even up call, as being hooked up was 55 Newton by Loya. 5:11 to go in the second period, and special teams action becomes a factor. As I'm looking back right now at that past replay. Yep. As 87. And Fergie collided to cause that previous interference call. So we're going to play 4-on-4 for the next minute 14 before the Barons will go to the power play on the hooking call assessed to 43 Grant Loya. Things will be set up to the right of netminder 33 Luka Thompson, Fritchie, Gaworski, Stark, and Welch on for the Pens Elite. This one back to Welch behind the net. Moves it to Stark. Up to Fritchie. And back to center red, Brooks Gaworski. Attempts to move it to Fritchie. But Newton gets to that puck first. It's behind of a couple of Barons players. It comes down to Welch. Welch floats it along. He's got a man behind the defense. It's Mason Fritchie. He's going to walk in as he's leg whipped. As this is going to be a 4-on-3. As Wang's going to try Welch. Welch is going to force him behind the net. Meeting him on the other side is number 7, Nico Stark. .29 to go in the 4-on-4 activity here. It comes back to the point man, 58. It's going to be shot in. Deflects off the stick of, it may have hit Stark's stick, but finding that is Luka Thompson. As Wilkos, Welch, and Wilson had a quick conversation there. 4:19 to play in the second period. 22 to go on the penalty call to 87. 39 on the penalty to Grant Loya. So the Barons will have a 17-second power play when 87 is sprung from the box in just 15 seconds from now. Gailey works it behind netminder 33 Luka Thompson. Nenavisa works for this puck. Wilkos top of the circle. Controls, fans on the shot attempt. As he gets the hook into Brady Fritchie. Fritchie's going to just motor right around him and Thiessen. As it's a power play opportunity for the Barons right now. And there's 4 seconds to go on that. And this may be an opportunity for Connor Wilson. Back to 5-on-5 action. Gets around Wilkos. Has it on his backhand. Wilkos gets a stick into him. Forcing it to the corner. Back to the point man, CJ Nenavisa. Nenavisa plays catch on the half wall with Wilson. Wilson, pinned to the wall by Wilkos. As Reese hits center red. Protects. Delays. Brings it back into the Barons offensive zone. Should be chance for the Pens to outlet here, but picking off that pass was 55 Newton. Nenavisa, he curls back in. He's harassed by Sadler. Behind the Penguins net. Nenavisa to Stark. Stark goes right back to Nenavisa beyond his reach. Coming down from his winger position is Paris. Rolls off of his stick blade. Back to the point man, Lapanga. Moved back to neutral by Connor Wilson. Following on is Paris. Newton right back into the Pens D zone. Stark will go behind Thompson now, bumps it in a reverse to Nenavisa beyond his reach. Wilkos, he has it. 1-0 game, 2:39 to go in the second period. Wilson will float it all the way down the ice as it's a rolling puck. Didn't have a lot of juice on it, but it got up on edge, picked up some speed. So it's an icing call with 2:31 to go in the second period. Thanks for joining us on Cine TV, Pens Elite TV. As just 2 hours from now, game number 2 will start. 2:30 matchup. Fergie on for the draw, lines his boys up. He wins it right back to Brady Fritchie. Fritchie up to Bingham Green. He's got a man driving middle. It goes to him. It's Easton Borman. Borman will try Mazza. He's got a couple of bodies going to the net. One of them is Brady Fritchie driving down the backside. Borman tries to cycle it back down. Welch pinches forward, takes Scott out of the play. Puck comes back to the neutral zone where Fergie reverses with Brady Fritchie. Fritchie tries to get a Welch. It's in front of him, though. This becomes an opportunity for 16. Stanner Scott rubbed off the play by Fergie. High off the glass. One-touch pass from Borman. Hits a streaking 93 Riker Ferguson. Ferguson gets around one body, two bodies as it comes to Easton Borman. Borman now behind the net. Takes a free hand now from Gailey. Now a slash. Now another slash. Green spins right off. A couple bodies hit the ground as it's shot to the stick blade of Colin Mazza. Borman was being bear hugged there by the free hand of 72. Off the stick blade of Nico Stark to 34. Perino stopping up. 1:19 to play in the second, comes to the point. 15, Mazza. Stick down easily by 43, Grant Loya. Now Wilson. He's behind the play. Blows, puts the Jets, goes right behind 15. Connor Wilson! And the netminder doesn't know whether to cry or wind his watch right now as he went fishing with the glove. And he's coming up empty as Connor Wilson turned on the Jets, got around. He was even with the Cleveland defenders, 58 and 15. And it left them both in the dust. And tucks it over the glove of number 1, Enox. Connor Wilson with his second of the game. It's a 2-0 game here with 1:07 to play in the second period. Connor Wilson takes the outlet pass at center, split the defenders, and made no mistake about it. 2-0. Pens Elite here with 1 minute to play in the second period. It'll be 55, leaves it for Sadler now. Shot. Glove down by Thompson. No rebound. As things are settled down here for a D-zone draw with 53.3 to go in the second period. As we await the goal announcement by PA man extraordinaire who celebrated his birthday this past week, Keith Borman. So if you're watching the broadcast, be sure to send a belated birthday text to Keith Borman in the box right now. I'm sure he'd appreciate that. Now it's Mason Fritchie. Sadler takes his skates out as they were going to the wall. As Fritchie got behind him, and Sadler's going to go to the box. I was directly across from that watching, and skates were taken out. Dangerous play. As number 6 sits down for 1:30, Connor Wilson on for the draw with Mason Fritchie, Brooks Skaworski, Stark, and Loya. Wilkos takes a couple extra shots to the legs of Wilson as it goes high up into the catching middle one. Fair catch called. As Wilkos and Wilson have a conversation. As they're going to draw in once again. As Wilkos gets the elbow up into Wilson. Wilkos takes now a swipe. Connor Wilson gets the shot off. As we'll do it all over again, this time to the left side, 1:07 to play. Now a cross check from Wilkos to Wilson. Referee's looking right at it. Lets it go. As it's going to be shot all the way down the ice. Icing's the call. So we'll do things all over again, but it's going to be waved off here with 2 to go in the period. As Wilkos adds a slash to Grant Loya. Trying to get on the score sheet, potentially. As that will be it from period number 2. The score, 2-0. We'll be back with period number 3 right after this. Pencil will start the period on the power play for the next 52. 12-7 the score. Or correction, 12-7 the shot totals, 2-0 the score. We'll be back in just a minute. Connor Wilson steps in for the draw against 17. Mason Fritchie controls. 50 seconds to go in the Pens power play. 14:55 to go in the third period. One touch pass over to Wilson. Off the stick of Gaworski. Wilson shoots it off the left shoulder of number 1 up into the netting here at the UPMC Lemieux Sports Complex. Period 3 now underway. 13 seconds in. 40 seconds to go on the power play. On the penalty to number 6. Wilson will draw in right now. Takes a shot to the back again. That's the game within the game. Don't think this has the distance for icing, as on the half wall in his own zone. Picked up by Grant Loya. Moves it D to D to Brady Fritchie. Fritchie sees this go all the way through to Brooks Gaworski. Retreating back to center red is Mason Fritchie. One more rush on the power play, potentially for the Pens. 12 to go. Brooks Gaworski, he curls around. He's going to man back door. It was Grant Loya sneaking in. Goes to him now. Grant Loya has it low. Tries to bank it off. Goes off the outside of the cage. We're back to even. As out of the box comes Sadler. Loya bumps into Wilkos. As it's thrown right back into the Pens offensive zone. 13:49 to go in the third period. As Welch now has it at the top of the point. He's going to snap in a shot. It goes off the backside of Bingham Green, wide of the net. Green hustles that puck, and Green just planted into the wall. Reckless play there by 6. It now comes wide to Nico Stark. Now Wilkos still on here after 4 minutes on the ice, trying to goat the Penguins into a retaliation penalty. As 6 planted Bingham Green into the wall. And he will go right back into the penalty box. As the tune Bad Guy plays here from the UPMC Lemieux Sports Complex. Cleveland Barons looking for an explanation. The explanation is given, and Wilson on for the draw once again. Borman tries to get to this puck as it's on the half wall, and it's shot up into the equipment of Wilson. Welch unable to hold the line as number 7 Nico Stark retreats back, bumps it over to Welch. Welch is going to skate this up. He's got a man wide. Can flex off of a stick blade right back into the Penguins zone. Stark sees this go all the way across to Bingham Green. Green bumps into Wilson. Thrown into space, but Nico Stark's now going to take care of things and moves it up to Connor Wilson. And the Pens are back into the offensive zone. Easton Borman controls. Borman snaps it in, blockered away by number 1. Down low is Nico Stark. Stark goes to Wilson, back up high to Welch. Welch floats it over to number 19, Bingham Green. Green back to Stark. Stark to Bingham Green. Some decent puck movement right now, but 37 to go in the power play. Pens looking for a shot on this opportunity. Easton Borman sees that knocked off of his stick blade. As it comes up to the half wall to Welch off of his equipment. And Green's going to walk into the offensive zone. He's got a man go to the net. It's Wilson. Instead, stops up high at the circles. Now on the half wall controlling. 14 to go in the power play. Got to imagine there's going to be an even up call here soon as Easton Borman knocked off the puck by Thiessen. Holding the line is Brady Fritchie, but knocked back to center and controlled by Nanavisa. Back to even as Sadler comes out of the box. Deflects off of a stick blade back deep into the Penguin zone, collected by Mazza. 2-0 the score here from the UPMC Lemieux Sports Complex. 11:36 now to play. Colt Davis on his backhand sees this come all the way here to the near wall. Rushing over to it is Newton and Fergie. Davis bumps into a man. Brady Fritchie has to reach for this pass. He stops up, stick handles in a phone booth. Brady Fritchie snaps it in on net into the glove of number 1 as Davis was looking for a rebound opportunity. No rebound offered. And the Pens doubling up the Barons in shots. 15-7 on the shot clock scoreboard here from Cranberry, Pennsylvania. Mazza will tap it up, but that's picked off. And this is going to be an even up call here, an interference call. Assessed to 77 Nenavisa as he was pinching down the wall. Could feel that one coming. After the Pens had a series of power plays. We'll have to go to the PK. As Fergie draws in against Wilkos, wins that draw. As Wilkos, see his legs taken out by Brady Fritchie, goes down. And it's going to be a 5-on-3 opportunity, but the netminder's not paying attention to the Cleveland net, still in the net. As some time ticks off, as it's fed to Riker Ferguson, who's going to go to the box for a trip. So the Barons are going to have a 5-on-3 for a minute 3 as Fritchie. It will go in. So 5-on-3 opportunity. Paris will be on with Grant Loya and number 93, Riker Ferguson. Will be one to the wall to Gailey. Gailey goes high to 86. 86 to the half wall to Wilkos. Surveys the scene, he stops up. Back high to 86. Right back to Wilkos. Shot in on net. Rebound pops up. Good save by Thompson. Rebound shot wide. Gailey now finds it. 43 to go on the 5-on-3. 86, the point man has it. He goes wide to 27, sneaking in. Good stick by Riker Ferguson as he curls around Wilkos, who stopped moving his feet. Ferguson's going to hit center red, but it's knocked off a his stick play. It becomes a 4-on-2. As 86, Thiessen's going to lead the rush. It's going to man going back door. Thiessen shoots this wide of the cage as it deflects off of a couple of bodies. Reese now controls on the half wall. Goes to the point man, 86, Thiessen. 20 to go on the 5-on-3. Thiessen goes to the back door to Gailey. Has it at the dot. Gailey into the slot. Goes wide to 27. 27 goes up top where it's deflected over the net by Gailey. 7 to go on the 5-on-3. Gailey controls to 27. 27 back to 5-on-4. Got a man out of the box as Wilkos has it at the dot. It's going to be shot, deflected in. Good save by Thompson. 19 to go on the power play now. Wilkos controls at the circle. Got a man back door. It's Gailey. Shot down by Thompson. Didn't get a lot on that shot to 72. Kind of fanned on it as it comes across to 27, but a big save nonetheless by 33 Luka Thompson. 5 to go on the 5-on-3 as it comes to Wilkos. And then to Gailey. Gailey back to Wilkos. Shot down by Loya. As that's going to be it for the 5-on-3. As Reese with the slash. Now the takedown of Loya. Gailey has it on his backhand. And high in the zone, the Pens try to float it down here to the corner. Wilkos is able to get to it first. He's in 1-on-5 right now. Oh, he dove. As Nenavisa forces Wilkos to the wall. And Wilkos buys a call there. Looking back at the replay. Looks like Nenavisa might have been hitting the gym to propel somebody up into the air like that. Nonetheless, the Pens have to kill off another one. Mason Fritchie now controls. As the Pens shorthanded, tries to go back to Connor Wilson. Wilson takes the feed, shot wide of the net. As a 2-on-1 shorthanded opportunity develops. As it will go wide now to Brady Fritchie. Fritchie gets in a shot. Brady Fritchie shoots and scores the shorthanded goal for the Pittsburgh Penguins Elite. And it's a 3-0 game. Taylor Swift, I think, sings a song about karma. And the Pens find some good juju right there. With Nenavaisa in the box, it's a shorthanded goal off the stick blade of number 9. Brady Fritchie to make it a 3-0 game. Pens still have 52 to go on the Nenavaisa body contact penalty. 9 will chip it in behind Stark. Reese on the half wall to Gailey. Gailey, he curls behind the net. Gailey tries to move it along to Wilkos. Wilkos pinches Stark off on the wall. Back to Thiessen. Back to Wilkos. Has it. Moves it into the dot. Shoots it. And it's into the net. Deflected in over the shoulder by Reese, who's able to find that puck. 7:39 to go in the third period. The Barons get that one right back on the power play goal. So the Pens getting some adversity right back after a 3-0 lead. The Barons get a power play goal, but it's Mason Fritchie looking for more. Loy now falls down in the neutral zone, but catches a break as 34 unable to find that puck. Kowarski back in the offensive zone. He goes to Mason Fritchie. Fritchie takes in the slap shot, blocked away by one. Enox didn't know where that puck was for a moment. 7:08 to play in the third period. 3-1 the score. 17-11 on the shot clock. As this should be an icing call, goes all the way down the ice, and it is. So 7 minutes even to go. Offensive zone face-off coming up. Connor Wilson, he's going to hop onto the ice with Bingham Green. Easton Borman. Backside will be Welch and Fritchie. One back to Brady Fritchie. Fritchie's going to snap in a shot. Deflects off the stick blade of Connor Wilson. Now it comes to Easton Borman. Borman, he plays it at the circle. Welch has it. Welch goes wide to Brady Fritchie. Fritchie snaps in a shot. Goes off the stick blade of Wilson and covered up by netminder number 1. Good sequence there in puck movement by the boys in black and gold. 6:39 to play in the third period. Ensuing face-off tied up. It's in a bunch of bodies and skates. 17, Wilkos digs it out. And back to center. Connor Wilson controls. As he takes a couple hooks from Reese. Another hook. A lot of stick infractions here as Welch has it. And he dumps it in deep. As we're under 6 to play, a couple takedowns, a wrestling match. Wilkos takes a punch to the head of Brady Fritchie, and he will get on the score sheet as he's going to head to the box. He got the assist earlier. Now he's going to get the penalty call. Pens have an offensive zone face-off on the power play with 5:49 to play in the third. As now comes high to Welch. Welch controls. He's going to walk off. Good move there by 14. He's going to go back to the half wall to Wilson. He plays catch with Welch. Welch right back to Wilson. Good puck movement. Goes all the way across to Brady Fritchie. Fritchie sees a puck, comes back to center. Welch is going to be harassed now by 55 Newton. Moves it right back to Wilson. Wilson is going to switch with Welch now. Welch has it on the half wall. Protects on it. Goes now to Borman. It's very quiet here from the UPMC Lemieux Sports Complex right now. Pens on the power play for the next 55. Wilson to Welch. Welch needs to walk off the wall and does. Goes across to Brady Fritchie. Barron's hanging back right now. Wilson, centering pass comes all the way through to Fritchie. Fritchie snaps in a shot off the outside of the post. Welch plays it down the wall to Wilson. Wilson centers it. Fritchie, he's at home, deflects in on net as the Barons are going to ice this all the way down the puck, but not far enough for an icing call, as this takes another 10 seconds off the Pens power play. 23 to go. It's the penalty to 17. Pass is going to be turned over in the Pens own zone. Finding this puck is 9, but digging it out is 93 Riker Ferguson. Pens on the power play for the next 13 as Reese and Fritchie battle for it. Moved along to Loya. Loya's got a man head of the plate. It's Blake Paris. Tries to hit him with it as Gailey and Fergie go down. Blake Paris in a foot race with Lopanga. He's got a trailer in number 11, Cole Davis. Davis follows in behind the cage, 4-13, back to 5-on-5 action. Digging for this puck is number 9, who's going to come out of it for the Barons, as he's angled off by the old school USA hockey angling technique of 93 Riker Ferguson. Grant Loya dips around a man, makes him miss. Leaves it for Colt Davis, but it squirts back to center red. Picked up by 25, Blake Paris, the left-hander. Left-hand shooting winger for the Pens Elite moves it to the right-hander. Grant Loya fans on that pass attempt with 3:38 to go. As Riker Ferguson will come in. He dances around Wang. He's going to try a power move, knocked off of his stick blade. Pens changing some D personnel behind the play. But digging this out is Colt Davis. He's bumped into by Gailey as it comes back to the center red. But freshly on the ice, Wilson takes a knee, stays on his feet. But it's going to be turned over high in the zone with 3:06 to go in the third period, where Nico Stark will change with Welch. Puts it up off the wall. Back into the Cleveland Barons defensive zone. Welch is going to step to that pass. Pokes it along to Mason Fritchie. 55. Trying to go around Nico Stark. Stark shuts that down, sends it into space to number 45, Brooks Gaworski. We're under 3 to play here in the third period as it's shot back to the stick blade of Welch. Welch quick up to Gaworski. Gaworski over to Fritchie. Fritchie trying to work around Mazza. Mazza falls down. Fritchie still on his skates, looking for a pathway to move this puck. Goes high to Welch. Welch should be throwing this on the net. Takes the slap shot off the right skate of the Barons. It becomes an outlet as it's thrown behind number 14. 14 is able to get back to that puck as he's pinned to the wall by 55 Newton. As the Pens hemming in the Barons right now, probably looking to pull their netminder. Massive pile up of bodies on the half wall. In there is 45 Brooks Gaworski. 1:58 to play. Whistle's going to be blown. Benefit the Pens lead here to get a change with an offensive zone faceoff. They had some tired bodies, and they're going to change up all 5 of the personnel grouping. 20-11 on the shot totals. .150 now as Easton Borman pressures Lopanga. Lopanga goes out to Perino, 34. Back checked by 93 Riker Ferguson. Also relentless on the back check right now are the boys in black and gold. Green is able to get back to this puck. He digs for it. He takes a elbow to the face by Perino. Perino is chasing down number 9, Brady Fritchie. Fritchie over to Nenevisa. Nenevisa moves it softly, but it's picked off by Lopanga, as it's going to be an offsides call against Lopanga. With 1:18 to go in the third, neutral zone faceoff. Barons electing not to pull their netminder here to keep this a 2-goal differential. Can't put my finger on why right now. But Brady Fritchie, he's going to enter the offensive zone. Goes wide to Bingham Green. Green right back to Fritchie. And it goes behind the cage now, behind one. Under one to play here from the UPMC Lemieux Sports Complex. And game number 1 will be right back in action at 2:30. Same teams as Bingham Green comes into that fray. Creates some separation. Borman is taken down as he now takes a stick to the back. Comes now to Grant Loy. Loy's going to snap in a shot off the equipment of the Barons. 26 to play in the third period. Barons still not going to pull their netminder. They're going to be content with the goal differential, I believe. And the Pens are going to be content to walk out of here with the W as there's 10 seconds to go in the third period. And they will go to 4-1-1 against this Barons team. And that'll be it from the UPMC Lemieux Sports Complex. Your Pittsburgh Penguins Elite take down the Cleveland Barons by a final score of 3-1, doubling up the shot totals. Once again against the Barons, 20-11. Final score. Thanks for joining us on Pens Elite TV. 3-1. We'll be back at 2:30 for the season conclusion between the Cleveland Barons and your Pittsburgh Penguins Elite. We'll see you. Be sure to like and subscribe. Pens Elite TV. We'll see you back here soon.